Welcome to Cusp, or cross-laminated timber made from plantation eucalypt hardwood in the northwest of Tasmania. As you can see with this forest, this is plantation that was originally grown for paper and pulp, but today we've reimagined this resource and reimagined it into engineered hardwood. This is a 15 to 25 year rotation FSC certified plantation. This is the future of our resource. Hardwood resources around the world are becoming limited. They're limited by virtue of the fact that they're predominantly old growth or regrowth native forests. We want to see a future where we leave those forests for our children, and plantation hardwood provides the solutions to our future. It's our social responsibility to head down this path, and our responsibility to be custodians and guardians of the future of our children and grandchildren by using responsibly harvested and sourced timber. Here is where we grade out the defects of the timber, and this is where we start to see how well we've dried the timber and our recoveries. Our recoveries now are around and exceeding 90% on a regular basis. This level is world-class standard, and for a product which has never been grown nor sawn for this before, we consider ourselves extraordinarily lucky, but also pushing the frontier, pushing the boundary, being at the cusp. Here is where we take the shooks that we receive in our engineered workshop from the optimising docking process. Here we can both vertically and horizontally finger joint. We vertically finger joint for strength when we're doing structural products. We also vertically finger joint for making appearance grade products like stairs, stringers, joinery products, and panels for industrial purposes to be sold at retail outlets for DIY at home. You might say, this is our secret herbs and spices like the Colonel's chicken. This is our true IP, how to dry plantation hardwood from a juvenile feedstock to produce the strength, the desired visibility, the touch, the feel that we all want in a final product. This is where the magic happens. Here is where we receive the timber off the paternoster and we glue to make glulam, posts and industrial panels. This is the heart of a production area. Using a non-formaldehyde based glue, because we believe that time and having less carcinogenic products is more important to us, is more important than setting quickly. We press on a regular basis posts, we press industrial panels and other assorted engineered wood products. In this press, we not only can press our own plantation hardwood, we also can press imported feedstock such as spruce, thereby being able to offer to the market two price point products, one appearance grade, one not. That way then we're flexible, being at the cusp, being able to mix and match supply to suit our customers' needs. Here is the magic part. This is where we make our cross-laminated timber. Presently, we lay up by hand. We know that's inefficient. In time, we will move to automated infeeds and probably a mechanical press. But with Australia's market being 25,000 cubic metres per annum, the requirement for investment beyond a vacuum press isn't justified in this market. Being nimble with capital and nimble on our feet, we can respond to market changes rather than be wed to larger capital purchases made prior to the maturity of a market in Australia. In this press, we not only can press our own plantation hardwood, we also can press imported feedstock such as spruce, thereby being able to offer to the market two price point products, one appearance grade, one not. That way then we're flexible, being at the cusp, being able to mix and match supply to suit our customers' needs.
Here you can see a billet being lifted by the gantry crane. The billets are large and handling by virtue of the gantry crane is required so that it can be placed gently onto the rollers where it is in fed into the CNC, our Hun digger. The Hun digger is an exciting piece of equipment in that it can not only saw, provide depth cuts using a chainsaw blade, but also multiple routing bits and drill bits, allowing for pre-drilling of holes for screws, set downs for heads of bolts, plumb cuts for any type of particular angle, and anything that you can think of this machine, due to its multiple axes, is able to handle. After it's zero set on the machine, the billet is processed where edges are trimmed, and then the operator, through the processes, instructs the machine process after process to complete the processing of the billet in full. This leaves us with a finished product that is then ready for dispatch to clients or dispatch to ourselves to put into a volumetric build. The work that goes into the pre-programming is more important here because in effect we build the product before the product even sees the machine. That allows us to make sure that what we deliver to site is millimetre perfect and fit for purpose.
Well, you've just seen the tour of the factory, so thanks for your time today. My name's Clinton Tilley, I'm Chief Executive Officer of the Hermal Group, and I just want to introduce you to our brand Cusp. Cusp is about us leading the future in terms of engineered timber globally. Cusp is about us being at the forefront, leading from the pack. It's about being always pushing the boundary in a state of transition. Cusp is about ensuring that we don't deliver just a product, it's about the service. We want to deliver the best engineered timber for any project, whether it's our resource or someone else's. It's about what works for the customer. We're not product centric, we're solutions focused. Cusp is about transition through innovation. It quite simply put is not about accepting good. It's about only accepting great. Great is our future. It's about the built environment for our children, for where we live, for where we work, and where we play. At Cusp, it's not just about us making profit or making a great product. It's about also the environment. how we impact on the environment by using sustainably harvested timber. It's also about the environment of where we live. More so, it's about ensuring that what we do is the best of breed. It's not just another product. It's the best product that can be delivered. As our Chief Executive Officer, Chris Skills-Piggins of Cusp says, our appetite for smarter solutions means we are forever on future's cusp. As it moves forward relentlessly, so do we. We are the world's first, and I say first, plantation engineered hardwood. Our provenance of timber is from the northwest predominantly of Tasmania. It's timber that was grown for paper and pulp that we're now turning into plantation hardwood engineered products. This is from anywhere between 15 to 25 year rotations, sequestering carbon on a continuous basis. From a governance perspective, we see ourselves as custodian of this high turnover, rapid growth, carbon sequestering resource. It's a beautiful blonde, platinum blonde timber with a beautiful aesthetic. At 650 kilos per cubic metre, this is best of breed for strength in the market. You will not find a more aesthetically pleasing or beautiful product to have in your building, your home, your school, your workplace. Wherever it is you are, this will provide a beautiful response to every day that you live. Cusp is the realisation of Ron Goldschlager's vision to facilitate Australia becoming self-sufficient in timber production. Australia's timber for Australian houses, creating Australian jobs for a stronger Australian economy. Our staff are committed to not only our product, but our cause and our mission. The way and their detail to attention of what they see, what they touch, what they live and what they breathe in our facilities is their dedication to the product we put to the market. It's in our DNA to do cool stuff. We employ some of the best of breed in Australia and globally. We have multiple people with PhDs in our design lab, helping us push our product further to create more for the future of how we extract this resource. But more importantly, our people just want to be involved in doing something which is cool, it's innovative, and being at the cusp, we're always pushing to do the latest, coolest thing that, put simply, will always be the best environment one can be in. We work collaboratively with University of Tasmania, University of Melbourne and universities in Switzerland to ensure that the work our people and the research we do is tested and backed up. We take world-leading researchers to check the research we've done. Why? Because we want to do it right and we want it to be the best. Here you see a video where we are quite simply machining the panels for what will be, in future slides you'll see, Australia's first mass timber modular volumetric construction item. This means we can make structural shells in our factory at our sister business QuipSmart to Cusp. We'll be able to deliver to site finished, partially finished or flat pack buildings of completed wall systems, of completed structures, rather than just a big Meccano set to site. Moving work off-site so that mass timber evolves not just to an on-site, but also to off-site construction. Such precision we have in terms of DFMA allows us to move to off-site production with the accuracy we have. And then simply, it's just a matter of logistics of delivering and stacking on site. Here you can see an example of an old school style building. This is a school we built, which is of steel frame. We can now engineer this to be a mass timber frame. But as you can see, this building has brick that sits on a plinth. It's not actually on a footing in the ground. This allows modular buildings to look like they're permanent. And there's no reason why you can't have permanent modular. Modular has always been deemed a relocatable item. Here we demonstrate that through the use of really good modular construction and volumetric off-site construction, we can take mass timber to being permanent on-site and being the cutting edge of industry, rather than being the poor cousin as it's often referred to presently. Here's a further image of this building. You can see the internal environment. Imagine some of these plaster walls being exposed mass timber, maybe with the alphabet machined into it. This is where we can go with the technology we have. This is our advantage over plaster and stick build. This is what mass timber can produce, a highly evolved delivered product. The future is within our grasp. As you can see from the images here, we can develop so much further from this. But with even this style of building being able to be delivered now, imagine how much more we can do under a mass timber volumetric delivery model. Here's another example of a timber building that looks like it's mass timber, but it is actually a steel frame building with timber sticks around it and then ply lining and cladding that is a decking and flooring. Really, this building should have been built out of cross-laminated timber, but the client didn't choose to go there because availability in Australia at the time was not there for it. Today, we can reimagine this building being delivered as we see it as a mass timber product. As you'll see in the next slide, there is the internal birch ply lining on this should have been cross-laminated timber with simply a timber cladding and facade and insulation system around it to create the ultimate volumetric display suite for the sale of the house blocks. As you can see, this is a design of a skeleton for a mass timber style volumetric built building. This skeleton is suitable to hotel rooms, it's suitable to aged care, but more so it's suitable to relocatable school classrooms and permanent modular school classrooms. This is what governments around the world are wanting, that's what they desire and what they crave. Yet our industries can't deliver them at the moment. It requires a full DFMA approach, not only just to create the mass timber, but to deliver it volumetrically or as a panelised system with conduits, with plumbing, with everything necessary such that the assembly time on site is less. Trades working around students in schools and other areas is undesirable. We need to have as light a footprint as a construction industry on certain sites. Off-site construction with mass timber lends itself to this. As you can see in the next two slides, we've done dynamic modelling on how much deformation these buildings suffer when in lifting. We've managed to engineer down a 9.6 metre long by 3.6 metre wide up to 20 tonne module that deforms less than 10 millimetres in the middle when being craned into site. This is far better than any other building on the market and any other building made from steel. This kind of innovation using mass timber is what is seeing us at the cusp of how we can deliver engineered hardwood products, not only with a mix of LVL and a mix of other timber products to provide the ultimate low carbon mass timber solution to the market. I encourage you now to consider how else can we use mass timber rather than just straight on-site construction? How can we use it off-site? How can we challenge ourselves to the future that we can't yet see? How do we think and dream and evolve to tomorrow? It quite simply is put, is about being at the cusp, pushing the edge, living on the boundary and working to it and pushing it further. Thank you for your time. The Hun Digger allows us to not only process our cross-laminated timber, but also LVL beams to suit around our cross-laminated timber or glue lam or whatever it is our customers need. The Hun Digger gives us the ability to machine within a millimetre any of our needs, full DFMA. In doing so, from here, much of our cross-laminated timber leaves to go to our sister business, QuipSmart, where it will be volumetrically assembled either into a wall system through some Weinmann multifunction bridges, or then delivered into volumetric stand-up buildings and delivered to the end user. This is the beauty of Cusp. This is the beauty of our plant. Flexibility by using low capital inputs. Flexibility by having well-trained staff. Flexibility in not being wed to our own products from our own feedstock, being able to mix and match to meet the need of the customer, a solutions-orientated business. Plantation to project. From the minute we receive the log to the time it's delivered on site, we desire to have a touch point so that at no point in time does our customer not receive the love, care and attention that we want to provide in the delivery of this wonderful product.